Oscar-worthy or Oscar caliber. Absolutely not. But it's so imaginative, and it just hits every note perfectly, and I love Machete so much. So much.
Well, wow, that sounds quite incredible, Kevin. I mean, Ryan and I are both really looking forward to this film, and we're really jealous that you got to see it early. I texted Ryan earlier today, and he texted back in all caps. I won't say what he said, but there were many obscenities. But anyway, yes, so Machete...
I can only imagine what he would say to me.
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus.
So yes, Machete comes out September 3rd, directed by Robert Rodriguez, and starring Danny Trejo, Michelle Rodriguez, and a whole bunch of other awesome people, and it's awesome that you got to see it early, Kevin.
It was awesome, too, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
What did you see?
Okay, so I want to talk about something that really shocked me. Earlier today, I saw The Switch, which is the new kind of romantic comedy starring Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston. And I really, 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 really like this movie. I think I'd even go as far as to say this movie is great. I mean, even though it's not amazing, it's not Oscar worthy, it does do some things that are just very trite, very typical of romantic comedies. I think everything that works about it just works exceptionally well, and I think that's especially, really, most of the great things about this movie are just the really snappy, clever dialogue, and Jason Bateman's delivery of that really snappy, clever dialogue. The premise of The Switch is... basically, Jason Bateman plays a character named Wally who is very neurotic, very pessimistic, and he is best friends with Jennifer Aniston's character. And, Jennifer Aniston has kind of put him in the friend zone. It's kind of obvious that he likes her, but she's not really into him very much.
Wah, wah.
Yes. But, wow, epic voice crack.
Wow, that was amazing.
I know. Oh, God. There are going to be so many remixes of that. But, anyway, so yes, she decides to have a baby, using artificial insemination, and, so yeah, she throws this party for her artificial insemination, like, yay, I'm gonna have a baby, and, at that party, Wally gets pretty hammered, and in the bathroom, he accidentally knocks over the cup of sperm that Jennifer Aniston is gonna be artificially inseminated with, so... in an act of kind of a combination of being totally drunk and desperation, he replaces the disappeared sperm with his own sperm, and decides to just act like nothing has happened. So Jennifer Aniston goes ahead and has the baby, which, unbeknownst to her, is actually Wally's baby, and then she leaves. She moves to a different place, and then 7 years later, she comes back and reunites with Wally, so Wally gets to meet his son, which he doesn't know, and he's the only person that knows that this is actually his son, and the hilarious thing is that his son is exactly like him. Like, he's so neurotic, and he's he just worries about everything, and one of the really great running jokes of the film is that he always thinks he has diseases that he doesn't have, and he's always just kind of bothering Jennifer Aniston about that, and... this is just a delightful film. I mean, this is just, I think, what a really good romantic comedy should be. I mean, I think it kind of cops out in the ending. It's like at the ending they couldn't really figure out any really clever way to, wrap up the story, so they just decided to go with a very cliched romantic comedy ending. I would have preferred, or just really liked it if they kind of had a more ambiguous ending, but, I mean, it's still, the rest of the movie was just so damn entertaining, so damn fun, just so damn well made, that... I just enjoyed the crap out of this movie, and I'd highly recommend it to, people who are doubting this, because, I mean, this movie is being largely ignored, mostly because of Jennifer Aniston, mostly because, romantic comedies have a, tendency to suck pretty hard these days. And I think the other great thing about this film is it really kind of solidifies the fact that Jason Bateman is more than capable of being a great leading man. Like, people like Kevin and I who watch Arrested Development already realize that, but for people who don't, I think... this is the movie that's really going to sell them on Jason Bateman, and after this movie, I think, he's going to become much bigger, and I really can't wait to see what he does later. This film also has a really great supporting cast. It's got Patrick Wilson, who we've seen a lot of recently, and he's great in this film. And another thing I really like is every character is likable, and the movie doesn't go out of their way to just kind of make you hate certain characters. Like, Patrick Wilson is the person who... Jennifer Aniston thinks she had the baby with him, and, it was his sperm in the cup that Wally knocked over, and he's kind of, has the hots for her, and he tries to court her, and that's kind of, one of the driving forces of the film, and I think they really play up that they play that up in a very good way because they don't, go out of their way to make you really hate Patrick Wilson. He's just kind of a likable guy who doesn't really understand and the situation, and you actually kind of feel sorry for him at points. So yeah, I thought that was excellent. Jeff Goldblum is in the film, and he plays Wally's kind of best friend, and he was also really fantastic, and just the script of this movie was really excellent. I don't know who wrote this, but as soon as we're finished with this podcast, I'm going to go look it up and see what else he's done, because really, this film was just, it was just kind of excellent. And I mean, the dude who plays, Jason Bateman's son nailed it perfectly. I mean, there's nothing worse than an annoying child actor in a movie, but this is definitely not the case here. So yeah, I mean, the switch, it shocked the crap out of me. Maybe this was just all about my low expectations, because trust me, they were very low, but I don't know, this movie just really worked for me. So, I mean, I would recommend that really anyone check this out. It's a delightful little movie. So, yeah.
Wow, that like completely nullifies my last question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, like, is this just all like fluff and butterflies and just kind of forgettable in the end? Or, I mean, is this kind of a really worthwhile film that it will be remembered like by the end of the year?
That's hard to say. I mean, I think this will be remembered by the end of the year for a lot of people, but not because it's a truly substantial, like, amazing film. Like, this movie isn't... It's very lighthearted in the way it goes about telling its story, and I think that's what's really great about it, is just, the dialogue really works to that tone, and that's what I think is so great about the film, and it's really consistent with the way it keeps up this very brisk pace and really snappy dialogue. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing amazing. If you're looking for something really thematically just fascinating and something really you can sink your teeth into, this maybe isn't that, but for someone who just wants to have just a great time and just wants to see Jason Bateman being awesome and wants to see some great acting and great dialogue and just a really good romance overall, with the exception of the ending, The Switch is kind of the perfect movie for that. I really, really enjoyed this film. I mean, I'd watch it again easily.
Wow, yeah, this is a film that I saw Piranha instead of watching this one, and I probably will watch this one tomorrow morning then, because you pretty much sold me right now on that.
Yeah, and he did watch Piranha because of this one, because I kind of told him to watch Piranha instead of this one because of this podcast. But, I don't know, maybe you're actually a secret rom-com lover, but...
Yeah, rom-com's my favorite genre overall. Oh, yeah.
So, Kevin, what's the next thing that you've been watching this week?
Alright, the next thing I watched this week, it is a film that's directed by Joe Dante and executive produced by Roger Corman. So on that name alone, you should know that this isn't a very deep cerebral film. This is Piranha, the 1978 B-movie classic. Now, Piranha is a film, it doesn't really star any big names, but it's always known as one of those really bad, cheesy B-movie 1970 creature features that, I mean, people really just... shit on this movie a bunch. They really just don't like it. And I saw it for the first time this week. I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked that people just keep on bagging on this movie a bunch. Because this is actually a really good, amusing satire of Jaws. Because what Piranha originally set out to do is that it came out, I think, 2 years after Jaws came out. And it wanted to spoof that film. And I think what's really interesting about Piranha is that Universal Studios originally planned to file a lawsuit against New World Studios for spoofing Jaws. But the reason the lawsuit was dropped was Steven Spielberg, he saw an advanced screening of Piranha, and he loved it. So right then, the lawsuit was dropped. But this is a really, actually good movie. I was shocked when I saw this, because I was expecting schmaltz. I was expecting really mediocre stuff. I mean, the piranhas... they're little rubber fish on sticks. That's the whole movie. And I think this one, it has really bloody and really great effects for the movie it is. It's not revolutionary by any standards, but I do think that by today's standards, this could be a bit of an edgy film. And I only say that because there's the scene in Piranha, or any of these, there's some kind of creature in the water kind of movies, that there's that first big chow down for that creature. There's the first big gathering of people in which it's an all-you-can-eat buffet for those creatures. And I think the all-you-can-eat buffet in